Are you ready for pain? Are you ready for suffering? If the answer is yes, then you're ready.
Part 2. Secondly, the points that this YouTuber made in his response video were very poorly constructed. He said at the beginning of his video that he wasn't a great researcher, whereas I am actually a very experienced researcher. I spent lots of my time in grad school compiling data and performing statistical analysis, and I also have conducted my own studies. His first claim was basically that the WHI study I mentioned wasn't actually about weight loss, but the intervention they were testing was dietary restriction, and then the variables they were measuring were weight and waist circumference. So if that's not a weight loss study, I don't know what is. Second, he really latched on to a statistic that I read from the main study I was reading about how 95% of long-term weight loss efforts fail, and basically said that that number isn't valid because it's from an old study, when in reality that number has actually been continuously verified through new studies over the course of the last 6 decades. That was all it took, and now I'm getting death threats.
Hi, my name is Az and I'm a preschool teacher. I wanted to give you a quick tip on what you should be looking for when you go to find a preschool or teachers, a daycare, or even a babysitter. I feel like a lot of people think that you need to have like a ton of experience, which just isn't true. You don't even really need someone with a ton of patience. The question you should be asking is, how do you handle frustration? Because it's going to be frustrating. Your kids frustrate you, they're going to frustrate us. But what separates a great child teacher from the rest is how they handle their frustration. Personally, I like to tap out. In my school environment, there's always someone available that I can be like, hey, I need a moment, and they can step in for me. A 10-second breather is so helpful for me. And it's helpful for the kids too, because then they get a fresh face, their experience immediately changes, and everything can be okay. They took down my last video, so here it is. So 2 things I want to say. First, I do not have to be in the trenches fighting. I went to Harvard twice, I've worked for the government, all 4 of my degrees are from Ivy League. If I wanted to, I could have had a happy life just making a lot of money, holding up the oppressive systems, knowing that they're oppressive. I'm not on social media for clout. I'm a social media activist because this is part of my theory of change. Second, this trend, there's a world experienced by white people and there's a world experienced by non-white people. Being a person of color in a white world is inherently traumatizing. People of color have to navigate through the trauma, daily trauma. From slums to Harvard, all life experiences that I've had, nowhere in this world is safe from the danger and threat of white women's tears. I've seen people of color CEOs and people of color tenured professors living in fear of white women tears. And I've actually seen them get into trouble, all because a white woman decided that she got her feelings hurt and got offended and she decided to cry, manipulatively, through a whole performance. And the second she knew that the institutions were on her side, she stopped crying. That is a patterned real life story. Listen, no one is telling anybody not to have fun. We are saying just to make space for how a lot of the trends and a lot of the things that people do for fun land on people of color very differently. And when you don't make space for that, and when you don't practice perspective taking, you protect the world from becoming more racially inclusive. When people of color show up to tell you that I've experienced that very differently, who do you help by resisting to listen? Listen, I've tried owning this trend. I know a lot of people who spoke out about this trend. Making it so hostile that people of color do not speak about how they're experiencing the world is racist and the opposite of diversity, inclusion, and belonging. Listen, there's a reason why the mental health system right now is considered broken by a lot of people of color. Because the definition of comfort in the current system is that of a white person. People of color simply have nowhere to go and safely talk about their racial trauma. Make space. That's all.
Let's talk about this argument. Just like in our society, homophobia is taught. And we can go into the layers of the patriarchy and how it's all connected, but I really want to focus on this comment. I'm going to present an example. Teaching theater at my school right now, a large group of students ages around 8 all the way to 10. Just so you know, that's like 3rd grade and up. Looking at a song and how to sing it phonetically, and the word gay comes up. immediate giggles. But when we say the word straight, no one's giggling at that. Why? Because we've normalized straightness. We've normalized being straight, boy, girl, being together. We have not normalized queerness. So when gay comes up, kids giggle because they think it's bad, they think it's wrong, they think it's a secret word. They don't see it as something to talk about openly. The same third graders down and they will have a frank discussion about boy and girl relationships. So yes, homophobia is taught.
I want to talk about something that's been bothering me, and it might make some people upset, and to be honest, I don't really care. Thin women are not oppressed. Thin women can go into a store and find something to wear. Fat women have to pay extreme prices and go to incredible extreme lengths just to find a store that will carry something that will fit them. Thin women are praised and exalted in the media. Fat women are shamed. Thin women can go into a doctor's office with some sort of severe medical condition and be believed and be given a treatment plan. Fat women will get a diet plan. I'm not going to be nice about this. I'm not going to be pleasant. You are not and have never been and will never be oppressed because you are thin. That's just the way it is.
Things I would say to my younger self, episode 1.
I'm making this a series because there's a lot I would say to my younger self. I would say to myself that you don't need to be the smallest clothing size available in the shop.
Why?
Because making yourself smaller is not necessarily making yourself better.
America focuses way too much on the individual or personal level of this issue. Many people often consider obesity a lifestyle disease, which puts the onus on the individual. However, we've been doing this for a while and it clearly does not work. The barriers to maintaining what's considered a healthy weight are systemic, such as systemic fat phobia in the culture and in the medical field, chronic stress, low access to healthy foods and exercise, and so much more, which is why nearly every public health practice that I advocate for to address this issue is a systemic level response. I'm also anti-diet, pro-health at every size, and a leftist. I believe every person, no questions asked, should have access to clean water, healthy food, adequate shelter, and adequate healthcare, which is nearly entirely possible, but the US government chooses not to take these actions.
The belief that weight loss is the only option because you are not thin, you are not worthy, is a symptom of diet culture. But here's the honest truth. All body colors, shapes, and sizes are beautiful. No matter what you weigh or who you are worthy. And here's something else. If you are a bigger person, you don't have to lose weight. Not everyone who isn't a size 0 wants to lose weight, needs to lose weight, or should lose weight. And screw diet culture for assuming all of that too.
I've seen a lot of videos lately about people joking about the weight they've gained during quarantine. And it made me reflect on my own weight restoration process these last 2 years as I recovered from a 20-year battle with anorexia. So when I looked at my stomach today and saw that it wasn't flat, instead of my automatic thought, there's something wrong and I need to fix this, I said to myself, isn't it beautiful that my body is just trying to protect me?
So, who broke it? I'm not mad. I just want to know.
I did. I broke it.
No, you didn't. Tom?
Don't look at me. Look at Ben.
What? I didn't break it.
Huh, that's weird. How'd you even know it was broken?
Because it's sitting right in front of us, and it's broken.
Suspicious.
No, it's not.
If it matters. Probably not, but April was the last one to use it.
Liar, I don't even drink that crap.
Oh, really? Then what were you doing by the coffee cart earlier?
I used the wooden stirrer to push back my cuticles. Everyone knows that,
Okay,
Jerry.
Okay, let's not fight. I broke it. Let me pay for it, Ron.
No. Who broke it?
Ron, Donna's been awfully quiet.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Oh Listen, I don't regret what I did, but my brain is paying for it right now. This year, we're constantly wavering between being a human being and being Myrtle from Harry Potter, sitting in the bathroom stall crying. I was wishing we were a dog because then we could sleep. I decided to push my teacher human form a little bit too far. I thought I could go out on a Sunday night and be fine. I'm exhausted. I have no regrets, but I'm also exhausted. And it's parent-teacher conference week. Who's the dumbass? Who's the dumbass? It was great feeling like fully human though this weekend and having joyful experiences. God, the line is so thin when it comes to surviving as a teacher this year. So I picked up some ravioli I'm gonna make real quick, do a little yoga because that'll help my autistic brain, and go to bed very, very early.
And then the endorphins hit post-workout. Magical.
Oh my god. So I'm the problem.